Hello, welcome back. We'll continue with our questions to David. David, can there be levels of risk management?
Oh, thanks, Brenda. That's also a very good question. And I think in terms of levels of risks, we would want to discuss it in the way we approach the risk itself.
Okay.
And maybe the best way is to give an example. If an organization has intrusion into their systems, there are hackers who are getting in, and they are, on average, they find that they are 800 in a month. And no controls have been put so far as per the 800 intrusions they are getting. That is gross risks they are having because no controls, no measures have been put in place. But now if they bring in mechanisms and they try and control those intrusions so that now they change from an average of 800 in a month to 200 in a month, then the 200 now is what we call residual risk. Okay. So the difference between gross risk and residual risks is the kind of controls we have been able to put to move from point A to point B. Gross controls is our starting point. Okay. And we say our objectives are affected because there are 800, on average 800 intrusions in a month. So our risk manager will say that we need to put controls to be able to minimize. Remember, one thing in risk is that you cannot bring it to zero. There will always be risks residuals that will remain. Okay. And that is why you hear people talking about the risk tolerance, the risk appetite. You know, can we be able to handle the risks that is there? Yes. Will its impact be able to affect us? For example, if an organization has misappropriation of assets, and they are able to control, and they bring it to a level whereby things that could be misappropriated are staples in the office. And surely the management board will not come to a meeting to address that a staple was stolen yesterday. We need to put controls. You know, that is just something that maybe will require an operational kind of a thing. So gross risks is before we put controls. Our residual risks, because we cannot bring risks to zero, is what we call residual risks.
Okay, thank you so much. We have learned that gross risks are before controls and residual risks are after controls.
Perfectly.
Thank you. What causes risks?
Oh, that's another very important question because if there is no cause, then there is no risk. Okay. If there is no kitchen that can bring out fire or electricity wires that cannot bring fire, then there is no risk. So that is a question that is very important when you are addressing risks. Okay. Because if you don't understand the cause of the risk, then you'll be addressing something else, maybe causing another risk than the one you are addressing. We have a term that is used in the risk management profession called the risk meta language. Wow. And the risk meta language is where we try to categorize what causes risks. And the risk meta language says that there is the cause, and there is the risk itself, and there is the impact. That is the risk meta language. Okay. So you have to understand what causes risks. And if there is the risk, what is this risk that can affect people, the premises, infrastructure, and everything? Yes. And then the other question we ask ourselves, what is the impact that can arise out of these risks? So that we know, are we going to address it? Are we going to put resources on it? Is it a risk that is new? Is it a risk that we need to ignore? Transfer maybe to an insurance company or something like that. So that is the need to understand what causes risks. The risk meta language, you start with the cause, the kitchen fire. Then the risk is the risk of fire. Yes. And then the impact is that maybe it can burn a person, or the impact is that it will destroy the building.
Yes, yes. Wow.
Thank you, Brenda.
That is to say that there are causes.
Exactly.
There is the risk itself.
Yes.
and the impact.
You have hit it, Brenda. If
thank
you are
you.
able to identify that in your risk management process,
Yes.
then you are able to manage your risks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you so very much, Brenda.
Yeah. For more of this content, subscribe, like, share, and comment. See you on the next video.